How's it going, everyone? My name is JT the Talking Head. You are the audience, and today I've got something that I've been waiting for a long time. I've got Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas on 4K from Arrow Video. Let's check it out.
We were somewhere around Barstow, on the edge of the desert, when the drugs began to take hold. Suddenly, there was a terrible roar all around us, and the sky was full of what looked like huge bats, all swooping and screeching and diving around the car. And a voice was screaming, "Holy Jesus, where are these goddamn animals?"
So when I was in high school, while all of my other classmates were reading books like Of Mice and Men or The Crucible or learning about Poe, I was reading something a little more, not school appropriate, the kind of book that Florida might ban. I was reading books like The Stranger by Camus, and most notably, Hunter S. Thompson's Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. This book details pretty much what it says on the cover, a savage journey to the heart of the American dream. Drugs, alcohol, and journalism is what this book is about. And when I first read this book when I was a kid, I say that I'm a kid, but I was probably 16, 17. I enjoyed it for what a 16 or 17-year-old kid would see it as, which is an edgy story that used the F word a lot and talked about doing a lot of drugs. As an adult, as I look back upon Thompson's writings and look back upon the time period in which he wrote it, in the late 60s, early 70s, when he was at his prime, I kind of realized that the story is less of a commentary about drug use and more of a commentary about the working class people kind of just bending over and taking it up the rear end, or at least that's how Thompson probably saw it. He was the antithesis to that. That's very detailed in a film or a book like Fear and Loathing, wherein he is very, very disruptive to the middle class, the working class, what he would refer to as the silent majority. And it's just a great book, and it's a great film, and I'm really glad that I got the 4K from Arrow here to talk about with you guys today. So I do have this 4K copy from Arrow and I wanted to kind of go over a little bit the differences between probably its biggest competitor that you're going to see, and that is this copy from Criterion here in the US. Now, the biggest difference is that Criterion has the rights to distribute this in the US. Arrow has the rights to distribute this in the UK. This is just a 1080p Blu-ray. This is a 4K UHD disc. I kind of feel like Criterion will eventually do a 4K of this, and if they do, I will be just as excited to pick that one up, because this is one of my favorite movies. It's my favorite Terry Gilliam movie for sure, and it's probably my favorite film starring Johnny Depp as well. So I've had this Criterion copy for quite a while, and it's great, but there are some things that I don't like about it. For example, this is a digital scan from the 35mm inner positive, so it's digital. This was a straight up scan from the 35mm negative. So it's iffy. Unless you're really looking, I've kind of discovered that the differences are negligible as far as grain goes or detail. There is some more smoothing in this that I noticed. They used a little more DNR, digital noise reduction, but I also know that with the transfer for this, they went through and they hand picked out all of the film grain and everything, so that's great. This, though, I think I gotta say I like this better. And this is not taking 4K really into consideration. This is just the straight up scan and how grainy it is and everything. Because yeah, if you put these two side by side, you are going to see that this one's definitely sharper. It's got a more detailed picture because of the 4K, and where this really shines is what we're going to talk about here in a minute, is the HDR, which I think is honestly the biggest point in buying a 4K disc at all, but especially if you're looking to upgrade one, the HDR is going to be the answer that you're looking for if you're looking for a reason as to why you would want to upgrade from the Criterion to the Arrow 4K, or possibly from the Arrow Blu-ray to the Arrow 4K. I do not own the Arrow Blu-ray, so I don't have a frame of reference at that point. I've not seen it. I don't own it. So, because I had this, I never bought the Arrow Blu-ray, but, and I know that one's also a Region B as well. Let's talk about the transfer for this 4K disc. This was a joint effort in collaboration with Turbine Media. I believe when they say Turbine, I believe they're talking about the German Blu-ray label, the ones that did that really cool Texas Chainsaw Massacre 4K Steelbook back before Second Sight did it, back before Dark Sky did it. I'm pretty sure they're talking about that Turbine. It doesn't tell me exactly in the booklet here, but I'm pretty sure that's it. So yeah, it was a joint effort between Arrow Video and Turbine. They scanned the original film from the original 35mm print and put it into 4K and did an HDR color grade. The coolest thing is the new color grade on this. The reference of it was the original Arrow 1080p Blu-ray, but Terry Gilliam himself approved and supervised this new color grade. This also features a 5.1 stereo audio mix from Universal, and it's not really something. I'm not a big audio head guy. I'm more visual than audio, so I can't really speak too much on that. But if you are interested in that, that is what it contains. I think it's also important to mention too that the 35mm interpositive digital scan on the Criterion version was also approved by director Terry Gilliam. So both of these are director approved. So take that with whatever grains of salt you will. Now let's talk about the HDR, the high dynamic range. If you are watching this video because you want to know about the 4K version from Arrow, you likely are going to know what HDR is and what it does to film. The color grading for the HDR on this film is honestly impressive. And I say that not because it's substantially better than any other HDR grade out there, but because the HDR on this makes the lighting and the colors of this film pop so much more. Now, everybody likes to talk about what HDR does for blacks and deep blues and grays, and that's great, but what I don't hear often is what it also does for oranges and reds. And this is a very orange and red movie. Very orange and red. Up in, like, it's all in the desert, so of course it's going to have a lot of sunrise, sunset moments, sunlit backgrounds. And the city lights in Las Vegas, where there's a bunch of red, shiny red and orange and yellow and green and blue, it just pops out of the screen at you. The HDR absolutely makes this disc, in my opinion. If this disc didn't have that HDR, I would say that it would be almost, to my eyes anyway, nearly completely negligible to the Criterion version. I understand that there are differences. I do also understand that some people had preferred the Arrow Blu-ray over the Criterion version, but now I think that with the HDR on this disc is the biggest reason you are going to want to upgrade, or just go ahead and buy this if you don't already own the film. So let's talk about the bonus features. I personally am a big bonus features guy. I absolutely love bonus features, and I got my list here of all the bonus features. I'm going to go over the ones that are on the, probably on the Criterion as well. They're the typical ones, the older produced ones that came out like on the DVD and stuff. So that'd be like deleted scenes, your theatrical trailers, your TV spots, an image gallery. There's also an electronic press kit that has like a spotlight on the location, behind the scenes, and interviews with Terry Gilliam, Johnny Depp, and Benicio del Toro. There are also 4 newly produced retrospective interviews on the disc that were produced by Arrow Video specifically. These are Savage, the American Nightmare with Ian Christie, The Gonzo Papers with Layla Nabulsi, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that name, Grim Memories and Bad Flashbacks with Benicio del Toro, and Ignore This Terrible Drug, Art and Style. Now, I watched all of those last night except for the Ignore This Terrible Drug, Art and Style, because it's a little bit longer and I just didn't have the time. It's like 30 minutes or something. The others are like 4 to 10 minutes long. And I gotta say, it's a little bit lackluster for bonus features, but the important thing is that these are newly produced. These are new to, I think these are new to this disc. They might have been on the Blu-ray as well, but I'm fairly sure these are new bonus features that were not available before. Comments, correct me if I'm wrong. You have my permission to flame me for that. But again, in my defense, I did not have the previous Arrow Blu-ray. This disc also features a director's commentary by Terry Gilliam. I didn't really check that one out yet. I'm not sure if it's the same one. I know the Criterion disc has a director's commentary. Speaking of that, I gotta say, the Criterion disc has got, in my opinion, better bonus features, or at least more bonus features, including more commentaries. There are commentaries. There's like, how many commentaries are on this? There's 3 audio commentaries on this disc. One with Gilliam, one with Johnny Depp and Benicio del Toro, and producer Layla Nabulsi. And then this is the one that I actually never realized is on here, and I think I might, that's the biggest reason I think I'm going to keep this disc, is there is an audio commentary with Hunter S. Thompson himself on this film. And to me, having an audio commentary with Thompson, especially since Thompson is now no longer on this planet with us, bought the ticket, took the ride to the far beyond, seeing the film and hearing what the writer of the book had to say, I think will be worth it to me to keep the Criterion. I was thinking about selling it, but I think I'm definitely going to keep it because I didn't realize that. There's also a whole bunch of other bonus features. I'm not going to go over it because this video is not specifically about this edition. But yeah, so that's what you have as far as the bonus features on this. It's not loaded down, I would say, but it's decent. It's decent. And for the price point, I think I ended up paying like $28 before shipping for this. And when you take that into account, that this is like $28 for the 4K disc, and it's like leagues better, in my opinion, because of that HDR specifically, leagues better than the previous versions. And then off of sale, this would be $40. So, though $20 for this is still not a bad deal if you're gonna get it on the Criterion sale through like BNN at like July or November. All right, with all the technical stuff and the opinionated stuff out of the way, let's get into what I know a lot of you guys probably came here to see, and that's the physical unboxing. I do like to unbox stuff. I do like to, the physical media aspect of it, but I just wanted to get that other stuff out of the way first, because at the end of the day, this video is about the film. It's about why you would want to buy it in 4K opposed to a Blu-ray copy of it. So yeah, so start off, we have the slip cover here, and it's a very nice high quality Arrow Video slip cover. I love Arrow slips. Taking the slip off, you have your basic case. This is the reversible cover art. I have already flipped it. The basic cover art that comes out of the package is the same as the slipcover. So I flipped it over to the original movie poster cover art. I typically like to do that with anything that has a reversible cover art and a slipcover. I'll put the original cover art on underneath the slipcover. So opening it up, we have our disc with really nice disc artwork. I love this disc artwork. And we have, I believe this is a 40-page booklet full of essays and behind-the-scenes stuff and retrospectives and some stuff about the transfer. And it's typical of Arrow to do this. It's a very Criterion-esque thing. So there you have it, my kind of comprehensive-ish review of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas from Arrow Video on 4K Ultra HD. The biggest takeaway, I can't hammer this in enough, because I think it's the most important thing, is the HDR on this disc. And I keep saying that because I truly believe, to my eyes anyway, and to the eyes of the average viewer, unless you are really looking for it, I don't think that the differences between quality of the Blu-ray and the 4K up-res transfer, whatever you want to call it, I don't think it is super noticeable. It's not something like a full-on restoration work went into it, because the film was already restored on Arrow's Blu-ray, which was comparable to the Criterion Blu-ray, so the jump in quality is not that huge. And that's really a testament to the previous works by both Criterion and Arrow, is that their 1080p Blu-rays were absolutely fine. There was nothing wrong with them. Honestly, if somebody came to me and they, like they were saying, hey, I want to get Fear and Loathing and I don't know which version to get, the 4K or the Blu-ray, I would have a hard time kind of weighing the pros and cons to both of them, because there are serious pros and cons to both of these. Again, I don't know what the pros and cons are to the base Arrow. I do know this, though, that if you get the basic Arrow Blu-ray, it is going to be Region B locked. So if you do end up ever purchasing that version, beware of that. You will need, if you were in the US or any other country that's not Region B, you will need to have a Region B or a Region Free Blu-ray player. If you don't have a 4K player for whatever reason and you just want the movie, go with the Criterion. Especially too, because this does not come with Blu-ray. That's also something that's important to note. This doesn't come with the Blu-ray. It just comes with the 4K disc. So yeah, keep all that in mind. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this video and listening to me ramble on about one of my favorite movies of all time. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed mouth vomiting speaking about this movie and about the story and about Hunter S. Thompson. I absolutely love it. I love both of these discs. I love the book. If you guys enjoyed it, go ahead and drop me a like, leave me a comment, let me know anything else you want me to talk about. Hit that subscribe button. And also, if you find down in the description below, there are quite a few other links to some other social media stuff. I am on TikTok, I am on Letterboxd, I am on Twitter. Go and follow me over on those platforms, especially TikTok. I will hammer this into the day I die. That's my main platform. I love doing TikTok. We have a great community over there. Go check us out, and thanks for watching.